Welcome back to Matt's Coins, where we're continuing to go through this mixed 3-decimal lot. This is what we've pulled out so far. We've 9 silver, 0.5 silver sixpences, 31, 35, 36, 41, 42 and 1946. This will have a nice 1879 penny. The 1877 halfpenny, I've checked my album, that does upgrade the one I have. And I do believe we need to add one to the Whitman album as well, and the 1916 recessed era course. So I shall quickly move those aside. Oh, and we did find a couple of bits of foreign in terms of French and Irish. So there's our silver take. Get this under the light so get it to stay. And grab a handful. Decimal halfpennies I don't care about, so I'm not even looking at those. So if you see me just putting them aside, that's what I'm doing. 1966, looking for 1965 and 64 really for two scarce varieties. Back to 1896. There we go, it's a 1965. And we're looking for a little pointy stick here. That second 8 there to point between two teeth. That there is clearly to a tooth rather than between, so sadly that's not the one we're wanting. If we found that one on a 1964, then that would be worth looking at, because that is the scarce of the 1964 varieties. But really the scarce one is the 1965 pointing between the two teeth. As I've seen in the previous videos, the pennies are tending to be very Victorian, which is nice because normally they're the later ones. 1897, high tide and dot I'll be looking for. We'll be looking at the date widths on a lot of these as well. So we've got 1919, no mint mark. We did find a 1918 KN, which was pretty battered in the last video. Or was it the first one? It was one of the two. I'm sure this is video number 3 now. Some more of those dreaded halfpennies coming out. 1896. 1967. I do wonder why or how there were so many of these pennies all together. So if I zoom in on this one, you can see the A there, point between the two teeth, so that's the common one for the 1964. Let's get rid of some of these stupid little things. 1961, oops. 63. And there's an 1888 halfpenny. That could be an interesting one to have a look at, see if we need. Another 1919, no mint mark. When I was there was 3 lots on offer at the auction where I bought this from. Having looked through the 3 lots, one of the lots did have a number of 1919 Heaton minted pennies in it, but I wasn't too interested in all the other bits that came with it. It was more of a foreign mixed lot. This is the one that really took my fancy, and when I first saw what was in it, it was a case of, yep, I'm having this one. So I may have paid £1 or 2 more than I should have. But the third lot that I didn't get was a lot worldy, not so much in it. And I've got a funny feeling I know who bought it anyway. So to be nice, I've let them have that particular lot, because I knew I was getting this one and the previous little tin that you'd have already seen. 1877. I really should make a big effort to do this. If you like these videos and you want to support the channel further, there is a Buy Me a Beer link. I've got it as Buy Me a Beer. It's Buy Me a Coffee, Buy Me a Beer, whatever. I think we all know that any monies I get will all be spent on more of these to go through. It's that one, that's a 63, no point looking at that one. There's an 1893, 1958, 1952 is the sixpence year that we're looking for, or I'm looking for, only because it is the scarcer of them all. Yep, that's to a gap. 1965 again, yep, to a tooth. 1922, looking for that middle prong to be away from the beads on the edge. Sadly that's not, because that would be a variety worth finding. Little half pennies to come out of this lot. So it's a 1954 sixpence and a 1960, 57, 61, 1948. This looks like an oldie. I'm going to say it's 1870 something. Oops. May not get a date off of it. It'll be looked at before the edit anyway. $1953 looks a bit sooty. 1964 again. So that's to the gap, so that's the common one. $18.99. Okay, we got some more silver here. 1928. So that's silver number 10. $19.19, no mint mark. $18.97, nope, don't see the dots. $18.91, okay. $18.96. So this is 1925, 20 centimos, is it, from Portugal? Okay, that can go with the foreign stuff. There we go, just drop some stuff on the floor. 1945, and that's silver number 11. Oof. It's 1862, half halfpenny. Looks, I don't know if it's coated in something or it's delaminated. It's a weird one. Looks like it's been in the fire. Yeah. Put it aside. 1957, what have we got here? It's the rough C variety. By my reckoning, I reckon there's about 1.4 million of the rough C were minted. Just based on, I think up to that point, that was my 84th coin, so I've found 83 1957s. and around 3.5% of them, number 12, have been the calm seat, which equates to about 1.4 million. Alright, that's to a gap. It's Victoria. It's 18 something. Never going to find that one out. 1953, 1956, 1901, and someone's banging outside. 64. Look at that day. Yep, to the gap. Right, a couple more handfuls, and that'll be it for this particular video. Just removing these lot again. So the first thing we've got here is some sort of token for 20p. I don't collect tokens, there are people out there that do. So we'll look at getting that one sold on at some point. $19.49, not the 52. The 52 would be nice to find just because it is one of the more valuable. Right, so we've got an 1874 halfpenny here. So again, that might be one that could be an addition or an upgrade. So we do need a few for the Whitman albums around then, and I'm positive I need some for my own collection. $19.54. 1964, let's have a look. Yep, to the gap. 1948. 62. 1951, not the 52. 66. 1960. What's this? It's a halfpenny from 1896. We've got an 1890. This is going to fall off my hand if I'm not careful. So that's an 1954 sixpence. 1890. Interesting to see how much bigger the 90 is in the date there. Whereas there they look quite the same. So I'll have a look at that one. 1963, dropped another one. 65. Yep. Not the rare one. $1966. We've got here, we've got a 1963, a 1955, a 1956. Stupid thing. 1950, 1954. 66 halfpenny, halfpenny, because these are halfpennies. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. There's an Edwards in 1907. 1959. It'd be nice to find some Edwards sixpences in here. I doubt whether there'll be any in here, but what's this one? 1892 penny. And to finish off this hunt, we're going to look at this 1893 penny. Victoria, of course. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please do so now. Also hit that notification icon to see when I upload these videos. Other than that, I'd like to say